Hey everyone, I just wanted to say welcome to Indie Chronicles. This is Melinda. I have been waiting for a long time to share with you my baby. This is my baby, okay? I have actual kids, but this right here is my baby. It's been a passion project of I would say the past couple of months where I've just been trying a lot of different things because I think planning is just not a place just to write down your tasks, but I think planning is a way to be truly reflective about how you use your time. And so it's really important to me that what I'm using to plan is actually functional and it's actually has a intentionality weaved all the way through it. So I wanted to share with you my planner that I've put together. I'll also share the resources that I've used as well and a few of the other things. Now, traditionally, I tend to use a spiral bound planner, one that I make myself because, again, as I said earlier, I'm pretty particular about what's inside of my planner because I value functionality above all else. Obviously, I want things to look cute. I want it to feel sexy, but functionality is the first part. So I've tried all kinds of planning things. I started as a young girl with Target planners, the planners that you get from Target. I've tried a ton from Barnes & Noble. I used to just spend a lot of time looking through the aisles and looking at the different kinds there. And I tried bullet journaling. I've tried a lot of different methods. And I have to say that as I continue to go deeper and deeper into all the different types of planner styles and hacks, I think I finally found the system that really makes me happy and that works well for me. But I wanted to share it with you today so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this glass plastic cover, actually comes from cloth and paper. I've been actually discovered them. I'm late to the game, I would say. I discovered them literally at the end of last year, and I have enjoyed some of the things that they have to offer. I like their covers. It's pretty sturdy. It's not flimsy. And it does a really good job of protecting what's inside of the planner because if you could see the wear and tear on this cover after a couple of months of being in my backpack, because I'm a teacher and I have a ton of other things in there, you would understand what the page would actually look like if I didn't have this cover. So it's doing its job. I got these rings from an old Happy Planner that I was trying out because, as you know, January is literally planner sale time. So if you don't have a planner and you want to hold off for a couple of weeks, January is the time to wait because all of the Happy Planners literally go on sale for 70% off. 70%. Okay. So when I was transitioning from spiral bound planners to the Frankenplanning system, I've seen a few of you guys on here using the Happy Planner inserts, and so I was like, all right, let me try that. I tried it, but again, everything wasn't really to my taste. For one, I have to admit I'm a bit of a paper snob and I don't really like the Happy Planner paper. Don't crucify me. I know some of you out here like it because it's pretty durable and because most of your pens will not bleed through it, but I really am particular about the feel of the paper as well as I'm writing on it. Call me whatever you want to call me, but that's just me. I'm sure there are others out here who are like that as well. So I have paper that I've actually searched wide and far to find that I order, and I decided to print my own inserts as well because, again, I need space. I need it to look a certain way, and so I'll get to show you guys that today. All right, so without further ado, look at it. Now, this cover is actually a repurposed dashboard because, I would say maybe 2 years ago, I bought one of those big Happy Planners, again on sale, because I wanted to try the idea of memory keeping, and so I bought a memory keeper, and I yeah, I didn't really finish it, so it's kind of sad. And so I decided to repurpose the dashboard inside of it because I really love the way it looks. I like I'm not really a huge flower person, but the way that these flowers look, again, with the foil, the copper foil that it has, it's just, you know, it has a little taste that I'm really digging right now. So you'll see quite a few flowers in and through here. But I really like the dark background with the flowers and the copper foil. Makes me happy when I look at it, and that's really the point of this, right? So I repurposed it. As you know, on the back of the dashboard, there's usually, like, you know, the monthly calendar stuff, and I did not want that to look crazy. So I have a subscription, a pen subscription from Cloth and Paper. I discovered them, as I said, pretty late to the game. So they usually, all my orders usually come with these cool quote cards and like swatches as well. And I really like keeping them. And so I decided to cover the back with it. And so I use like Post-its. This washi tape came in a pack. I got it from Amazon. I really love the colors that came. It comes with some floral setting tones as well. So I just put it together like this, and it makes me feel pretty good. I like the quotes, what comes next. Anything worthwhile requires work. Really inspiring for me, especially with how I'm trying to be intentional this year with all the things that I'm doing. So I like this page. Immediately when I open this up, I'm like, yes, chef's kiss, I love it. And so over here, I got quite a few things from a few different places. This is the inbox dashboard. It's, again, another glass plastic kind of thing that Cloth and Paper makes. And I know that some people use it as their true inboxing space where they write down things that come to mind, and they start afresh and new, a weekly or whatever timeline that they have. I have another way that I'm using the inbox method. I'll show you later. And so I just use it as a place to just keep my Post-its, because I do use Post-its periodically here and there, okay? So I also got this Ali Black clip. So cute. It's the Cloth and Paper one. I found it on Etsy. I was just like, because I saw it and I was like, wait, it's not on their website. I'm sure it was like a special for their box subscription subscribers. And I found it and I was just like, it's cute. I found you. It's here. Now this little card right here, it comes from Sequins and Paper. It says, fewer better things lead to a fuller, better life. And that to me screams intentionality in what we choose to put in our lives, who we choose to include in it. And that goes along with my theme for the year. So I love this. It's like a reminder. You don't need a lot of things, but you do need to be mindful of what you do have. All right, so I've been playing around with vellum paper because I find it to be beautiful. I just love like the semi-opaque, like see-through kind of look thing. And then this is kind of like a thick vellum paper. I decided to print the yearly overview template here, and I had one that was like a 2021 to 2022 one, but I decided to reprint it and space it out so that I can have space to write things if I want to. This makes me a lot happier. I put a dot for birthdays because, you know, they're important, and, you know, there's space to fill in other things. So I really like it. I put it on 2 pages. I know people tend to want to put the whole year on 1 page, but this makes me happy. So I printed it on 2 pages of vellum paper. This one has like a little leaf, opaque, not opaque, but see-through transparent design, and it's pretty cool. Okay, so I have this habit tracking section over here to keep track of 3 habits. Now, I think it's really important to keep track of the things that you're trying to build habits around that you may not have had a habit already around. So the only thing I would say is that while I have 3 things here, I'm not going to introduce 3 new things all at once. I'm going to introduce 1 new thing and keep tabs on 2 of the things that I previously, I know that I kind of still need to keep a track on, because maybe one of them was really good on and I can keep going without having to like track it. But The other two I might need to continue to build on. So that could be water intake, it could be exercising, it could be sleeping, journaling, scripture reading, whatever habit that you know gives you life. That would be a good thing to kind of focus on here. So I'll make the decision when we get to June, but for now, this is where we are. Let's dive into what the inside looks like. This is still scheduling. Yes, all of these components are important. Boom. This is my week. Okay. So I've been using an inbox method. Previously, I used this section over here to kind of do a brain dump, to just like drop all the things that were in my brain, so that I could really just figure out what do I need to do for the rest of the week. I started using a larger inbox insert that would allow me to do like a running list for the month. And since I started doing that, I found that, hey, I didn't really need a brain dump section. I just really needed a section to kind of be like, okay, from this list, what do I need to really focus on? And then how is it going to spill over? So this is like, okay, focus, keep tabs on, think about this week. You really need to just be mindful that you are focused on these projects, or blah, 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 from my inbox that has the list of things I need to do. Because what would happen is that this section would just become super crowded with a lot of notes, which is fine, because that means you're really using the brain dump as it should be used. But sometimes I would find that if I'm not really being really intentional about going back to that section, I might forget a few things. So I'll show you later what that inbox section looks like. But for now, what I typically like to do, and I really like this page because at the beginning of the year, I set goals, right? I set some goals about like all the major buckets in my life. And what do we know about goals? If you don't go back to them, you don't set action steps, you don't make them measurable, you literally forget about them, and you may or may not accomplish them. And this is especially true for the goals that are really hard, or the goals that you're, actually scared about doing. So to hold myself accountable, I created this section in my weekly plans to just kind of see, well, what is it that I'm doing for the goals that I have for just the month? Okay. Now, every month, I do this whole goal setting thing, and I go through and I pick 3 goals. And so weekly, I want to challenge myself and say, well, what are you doing, for those goals? And so I have a section for each goal, and, just to kind of hold me accountable. This follow-up section is just like, oh my goodness, something came up quickly that I need to remember, jot it down, it's here. It could be like an event that I didn't put on Google Calendar yet, or it could be, oh, I need to check in with someone. So it is what it is. This check-in section over here is for personal check-ins, because I really want to be intentional about my relationships. So with friends, adulting, it's easy to forget. That's just my accountability section there. Okay. So goals, what we're doing over here, I'm not going to write in like appointments, because I like to use Google Calendar for like actual, hey, these are one-off appointments. Like I go to the dentist, take the kids to the dentist, I have a meeting with so-and-so. I'm going to put that on Google Calendar, but what I'm going to put here are like the projects and action item things that I can actually get done each day, because my schedule, it changes day to day. So I'm not, I don't want to write down like the meeting parts, because actually, to be honest, throughout the day, I'm not going to look at this. I'm actually going to look at this at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, to kind of set my mindset of like, here's what you said you were going to commit to doing. And then also, did you actually do it? What do you need to spiral elsewhere? And so on and so forth. So I'll look here daily and then make my decisions according to. But Google Calendar, because it has notifications of, hey, you need to be here. I'll set like, a 3-hour notification if I have somewhere to go. I'll set like a 15-minute notification if I have a meeting I need to make too, within the same setting, same location, and so on and so forth. So this is just for actions, projects that I need to work on, that I think I can get done. So that's that. Now, I am a teacher, so I have my lesson plan notes all here. And I like this setup because I actually, at my school, we have an 8-day schedule. So we rotate what we're teaching. I could teach anywhere from 1 to 4 classes in a day. And so I kind of use this as like a what is my schedule for the day kind of thing, but more so mapping out what am I doing with that particular class for that schedule. So I have that here. Of course, all the details are going to go into the stuff that I give to the students, as well as my own like lesson notes thing that I create for myself. But this is like a, hey, make sure that you got it all together. You have your plan, you know what you're doing, and move on from there, especially with like your units and when you want to finish things. Over here, I have these extra boxes. I'll use this to write notes on my small groups that I have, and also particular one-off like student notes on like, hey, I'm working with so-and-so on this. They need a little bit more of this. I need to do this, blah, 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 blah. So that's what I'll write here. Here, I'll keep notes on like curriculum, right? Oh, for the next unit, you might want to consider, or next year, you might want to consider blah, 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 blah. I'll keep that stuff here. It's really small because I don't often have a million things to write. So it just makes sense that all of this goes here. I go back to it. It's like a great record keeping section for me, and just like making sure that I'm doing what I said I was going to do. Okay. And so all of this just repeats like month by month. That's the setup for the schedule section of my planner. Now, I have a few other one-off templates that I purchased from Harry Plans around book tracking and pen swatch kind of thing that I'm playing around with, and I may do a video on that. But I'd like to take you to the mastermind section of my planner that I've been working really hard on refining and making it make sense. Now, again, this is from Sequins and Paper, great note card, and then this is from Cloth and Paper, the actual divider, and Jane's Agenda, super beautiful, super cute. Again, all the reasons I explained beforehand. I just love how it looks when it's layered together. So in this section, this is where I do my goal setting monthly. This is where I keep my project notes. This is where all like the let's just make it make sense action happens in my planner. So let me take you to like a new not filled out section, because you really don't want to see all the other stuff that I have going on here. There's a lot. So I can explain to you, how do I use this and what does it look like? Almost there. Okay, great. So let's focus our attention on this side. So this is the inbox method insert that I've been using, that I was talking about a little bit earlier, instead of using the plastic, post-it note method that some people use. So I use this as a running list. This is based off of Getting Things Done method by David Allen. And I know there are a few other people who have their own inserts. I'm pretty particular about color and style and text and stuff, and of course paper. So I made my own. This for me is replacing my brain dump that I do weekly. I'm using it as like just a running list of things. So I'll write down what I got going on here, or what comes up, what people mention, appointments, blah, 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 all the things here. And then I'll go through and I'll decide if it's something that I'm going to personally pay attention to right now or not. Okay. So my not section, my notes, not really that important. It's either something that I have to do. We'll delegate to someone. Trash, because really, honestly, I really don't have to do it. File away, whether it's digitally or like an actual physical location, or if it's a future project, like something that, honestly, if I don't get to it this month, next month, whatever, it's not going to kill me. If it's something that, yes, I need to take care of it. It may be an action item, like it's a task, like, okay, I can get this done. It's a one-off thing. It might be something I just need to put on my calendar. And when I say calendar, I'm talking about Google Calendar. Now, I do have the monthly ones, but Google Calendar, just because it gives me the notification. I use the monthly spread calendar format that I have as just like a quick overview. Oh, hey, this is the month. It's pretty packed or it's pretty not. So it's just like a visual representation of what I have going on for the month. And then I have projects. So these are things that take more than just a day, or it's not a one-off task. It takes, some collaboration maybe, or it's going to take some time and moving pieces to get done. And then project materials, like support materials that go along with the projects as well. So I'll categorize it as such. And then as I go through the month, I will, if it's something that's in this section, I'm going to go through and make sure that it, gets done. I'm going to add it to a week focus at a time, along with the goals that I'm working on. Make sure I add it to the calendar if it's that thing. And if it's a project or project support material, I'll use these project note pages to kind of like help organize and go through the components of that project. Okay, so I have this running inbox list. It's 2 pages long because, believe it or not, there's so much that goes on. So much that pops up in a month, it's not even funny. So I'll use this, and if I find that I'm running like this is not enough, I'll add another page. So that's why I like this a lot. This is where I come first. Besides adding stuff to this inbox list, it's like, okay, the actual thinking part of how do I set my goals for the month, that's really important. So I'll do some reflecting. I'll look at the goals that I set from the month prior to, and look at, hey, what did I actually get done? What did I not get done? I'll set 3 goals for the month, but honestly, these past couple of months, I just noticed that the trend has been I'm getting 2 of them done because 2 of them are actually the main priority, and the third one is like a lofty, hey, this would be really amazing if I got this done this month. Or it might just be that I'm trying to get a head start on something that's going to be due in a month or 2. So that's what I've been noticing, and I think that's why the reflection piece is really important, because it kind of helps you to identify those trends. If something didn't get done, I think about the roadblocks. If the goal or the thing I did not get done, if it didn't get done, I have to ask myself, hey, is this really still a priority? And how does it lend itself to the overarching goals that I have for the year? Like, if it doesn't, then I might have to consider, is this really important? And if it does, I have to say, well, why and how so? And then make decisions, right? Now, if it's not really lending itself to the major goal, I ask myself this question: can I really make peace with this goal not being accomplished? If so, then I'm like, all right, sayonara, this really wasn't something really important for me to focus on, so peace is all right. But if it isn't something I can make peace with it not being accomplished, I really need to figure out, well, what's really going on? Go back to the drawing board. And it may be that I need to delegate the whole thing or just certain components to third parties. It could be a person, it could be a resource, or just plain out seek help, like ask around and have conversations with people that I know who might be a resource to help me get this thing done. And then the next thing I'll do is look at the inbox brain dump section, which is this lovely thing, and look at the stuff that I have listed, especially the project part, like what needs to get done this month. What's something that's like, hey, if we don't do this month, it's going to be a problem. And then also connecting it back to the goals for the year, because again, I'm really trying to make sure I'm holding myself accountable to getting things done that are important to me, not just task lists, because I love a good to-do list. I really do. It feels great when you check things off, but I've just been noticing as I got older that I can fill my to-do lists with things that are easy to get done or just really procedural, but don't really lend itself to the huge or the large overarching goals, the things I really want to see for my life. So I'm really creating things here to help me get there. Okay. All right. And then down here, I'll write down things, people or things that I need to follow up with. And because I want to keep that in mind as I go into setting my goals. All right. On this side, I created like a Eisenhower matrix little insert, because sometimes it could be really hard to look at my inbox and make a decision on what's really that important. So this is like a really good sorting tool for me if I get stuck on that. And just little notes on the side of like, it's like a battleground for the mind. We'll say that. And so helps me clarify what's urgent and important, not urgent, but still important. urgent and not important, meaning like it could take some time on getting it done. And then of course the not urgent, not important part. This is typically what you would delegate to others. This is typically what you'll say, nah man, stop focusing on this. It's the easy stuff. It'll get done when it gets done. And then here, goal setting. Boom. This is where I literally pick the 3 goals that I have for the month. And then the how part. When I say how, I'm thinking about, well, what are the components here and how can I make this a SMART goal? When does it need to get done? You know, just how actionable is it? Just the pieces, because these are the pieces I'm going to look at week by week by week that I'll say, okay, this is the part that I need to get done to get said goal accomplished. And then check-ins, because yeah, I need to be intentional. I can be an introvert, and sometimes that means that I, you know, am not always checking in with the people that I love because I get wrapped up in my own thing. I like to be alone doing my own thing, but these people matter to me and I love them. So this is my accountability piece. So once I've done that, I also have this follow-up section. I created this a while ago. I use it as like, hey, these are the big buckets of things that I'm always working on, like outside projects that I'm responsible for beyond work. So one might be like ministry related, one might be business related. I serve on a board. I do things outside of work. And so, you know, I want to just say, have a running thing here that's just like, in these spheres of my life, like what are some of the immediate boom things that are happening? And so it's another way that I kind of catch myself. This will always serve as that part there. And then of course, project notes. And you know, people use project notes in a lot of different ways. Some people use them to kind of like break down, like they'll do things like, oh, here are the action steps. Here are the people we're working on. Here's a timeline of things that need to get done, blah, 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 blah. I use them literally as notes. So I'll write what the project thing is. And then I'll write down the notes, check whatever things that need to go down. It's just literally in my catch of those things. You can use it however which way you want to. And then, so yeah, this is it.